All right, welcome back to the IY podcast. Today, I got a new guest on today. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Yes. My name is Prince Wise. I come from the Bronx, New York. I'm a hip hop artist out of New York City. And look, I'm super duper glad to be here.
Hell yeah, man. I'm glad you came on. Appreciate it.
Yes, of
How'd you get
course, of course.
into, hip hop and everything like that?
Well, I started hip hop. I was 16, maybe a little bit younger than that. I was actually no, I definitely was younger than that. I really started listening around like middle school.
Yeah.
I was just a fan. I was a fan of rap music. At the time, I really couldn't have like explicit CDs with cursing in it. I'd be,
Yeah.
going to my cousin's house and stealing his tapes and all this type of stuff,
Yeah.
stealing tapes, just so I could listen to, the music. Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, I was a big fan of. Became a fan of Tupac, you know what I'm saying? And just like the average rap fan or anybody who decided they wanted to actually get into it. I was around some of my friends pretty much in middle school and they were doing rap. And I never really had a thought that I could do it so much as I had a thought it was just like, well, let me try it.
Yeah.
And I had a group of friends and they were like, same thing, banging on the table at lunch, freestyling. And I just decided to give it a try one day. I went home, I wrote a rap. It was real whack or whatever. And then I came in the next day, I had it recited, you know what I'm saying? And I just saw the people like, giving me attention and just giving me more attention, more attention. And I was a kid who, when I was younger, I was very quiet, you know what I'm saying? And uh I guess it's really because of the lack of attention that I got for anything else that I was kind of just seeking that attention. But it was good attention, not like attention seeking, like clout chasing, but it was good attention that, and
Yeah.
I figured it was a good medium for me to be heard. Like people could actually listen to what it is that I'm saying. Because when I spoke, for whatever reason, nobody wanted to hear me. But when I spoke in that way, in a poetic way, people started to listen and understand. And I just kept that up. Like it was all that I knew how to do. I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the rhythm. I fell in love with being able to learn different flows and apply it to what it is that I'm saying. Like all of that stuff is just stuff that I kind of fell in love with, and I just never stopped.
Yeah. That's cool, man. I like that, because, like you said, it gives you a voice of, it gives you, that platform, like, so where people will actually listen to you and like, in your songs too, it's like, having people become aware of, situations that's going on in the world now, like,
Yeah,
like you can, preach and shit about it, like you're saying, but like you're making songs so people stay entertained and, they listen to it even more.
yes.
That's what I always get from your songs. Like it has a message to it.
Yes. I believe in it being a balance. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll give you something entertaining because I'm not here to preach to y'all. But
Yeah.
what it is that I want you to understand what's actually happening out here to people. Like I
Yeah.
just want you to understand. And then I believe in there being a balance in the mix. So you still get the message, but you still, it's something that you can vibe to, something that you can dance to, chill to, smoke to, whatever. But I still want there to be the message in there somewhere. And that's really at the core of what hip hop was meant to be. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Hip hop
Yeah.
started off with the message. It started off with being the voice of the people and people actually having something to say. And I feel like it's important that none of that gets lost.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, because that's how I always like the old school hip hop, because they always had that message to it. So it still does now, but more back then. When it first started, it always had
For
that
sure.
message and shit with it.
For
But I do
sure.
like how did you like get your style? Like what made you want to, be the guy that has like the message, and becoming aware of situations and putting people, on to some shit.
Yeah, I mean, like it starts off with me too. Like I'm a very, I would say, not a sensitive person, but I'm in touch with my feelings. You
Yeah.
understand? So I know how certain things make me feel. And I use music as the medium in which to convey my feelings and my actual thoughts and opinions on things. And it makes sense that I would be in touch with my feelings because that's what it is that I do. That's the very essence and nature of expressing yourself,
Yeah.
expressing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, that's just one of the things. And that's really what cultivated my style. I was always a kid who I read a lot. I was always a kid who I would watch things a lot. I'm big on learning off of life experience, and it's very important. Like for me to be able to implement that and put that into my style. Like I like artists like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Lupe Fiasco. Those are artists with, messages, and they have things to say in their music. Rhapsody, they have messages and things that they would like to say, and it's just that's more in alignment with who I am as a person. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
So it's literally art imitates life and life imitates art. You feel me? It's just that's more in line with my ideals and who I am as a person. And the very nature of expressing yourself in hip hop is just something that I have in me. So
Yeah.
that's just, it starts first and foremost with me.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, like once it's like when you're talking about shit you already went through, or experienced in life, like it's a
Yeah,
lot easier to talk about, than versus making some shit up. It's because you obviously in your songs, you can really tell, like this is some real shit. And now you're trying to let people become aware of what the fuck's going on and what happened to you.
yeah. And I just do that through so many different ways of literally like art, like painting pictures.
Yeah,
I can paint a whole picture for you in word form without me even having to actually draw anything and show you and say, hey, look, it's just it's poetry, it's a poetic aspect to it. So I take pride in that, and I love that. I love that part of hip hop.
yeah, and I also like how your style is. Like on your Instagram, you'll put those videos of like you recording yourself recording, a song or some shit, and then like
Yeah,
when you're talking about a certain topic, like then you'll have like the little clip of,
I have a
like
video of it in the side. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
like I know I was seeing the Michael Jackson one and shit.
yeah.
I was
It's
like,
dope.
fuck, yeah. I was like, damn, that's pretty cool, because it
Hmm.
gives more people of like what the fuck you're talking about, like more of an understanding, more of a picture.
Right. And I'm glad that you like that, because like that's just something I felt like I just should start doing. Like I think the words and the lettering underneath the words. And me personally, and I can speak to this in my personal experience, I personally credit Coda the Friend with that, only because I know Coda the Friend. Like that's my guy. You feel me? So he was personally, literally the one that I've seen do it. And you know, I really like that. And I think with somebody like me, because I have so much to say, and there's so many double entendres, triple entendres, syllables, there's so many metaphors, it helps that you can read those things. You
Yeah,
understand? Like sort of like a rap genius. But also at the same time, I do want to give you that imagery as well, just so that you have a further understanding of what it is that I'm saying and how
yeah,
it is that I mean it. So I just decided to try it out one day, and I was like, let me put the clip up. Let me put like either a video clip up or a picture clip, and it's just something that I've been sticking with, and I think that is really cool. It's funny, like the one that you saw, the JID with the Michael Jackson split. JID actually saw that, and
really.
he was like, "Yo, you can spit, dude. That's fire." You know what I'm saying? So that was one, like I
Damn.
was like, "Yeah, that's really cool."
Yeah, so obviously, you're doing something right by doing all that
Yeah,
shit, just like how you're recording and promoting all your shit to get out there. Just
yeah,
like that. I mean, that's all it takes, some shares. I mean, and then you advertise and shit too, right?
yeah. A lot of people find me on the ads. You found me on the ads, which is
Yeah.
really dope, really, really dope. And along with the advertisements, I tell people like, is if your material is good
Yeah.
and it's quality work, people will watch.
Yeah, that's true.
Point blank, period. So, I do put advertisements out there, and that's my marketing and promotion, being as I really don't have too many songs out there on the streaming platforms. And I already know if I put music on the streaming platforms, they're not gonna necessarily do anything for me anyway, unless I'm like on a Spotify curated playlist or whatever. But how often does that happen? So
Yeah.
I just took a chance and bet on me and put a couple dollars aside for advertisements on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, just so that my message gets out there.
Yeah. You invested in yourself, right?
Yep, big facts.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, because like, ain't nobody else, gonna, be as inspired by your dream, but you know what I'm saying, and put in the most work like you're doing, you invested in yourself. So now you can, do what you want, and really, because I mean, if you don't invest in yourself, who is, going to invest in you in the future or whatever you want to
Hmm.
do, but you got to start somewhere and get your name out there like you're doing. And I really think that you're doing the shit in the right direction because I mean, look at all the shit that you got on your Instagram shit. It's like it's dope. You know, your flow is just like, you know, just that hardcore Brooklyn flow, you know, and I just really like that shit, you know?
Heard you. I appreciate that, man, and it definitely means a lot to me. I tell people all the time, you don't even have to have like the fanciest camera ever on earth or anything like that.
Yeah.
We all got cell phones. You have
Yeah.
your cell phone camera. You understand? So whether I did that freestyle on a cell phone camera or what have you, as long as the quality of your work is good, people, they want to see the work. They're there for the work. They don't care about what the numbers look like. People are there for the work. And if it's genuinely good work, all of those other things will come. Like you will
Exactly.
find somebody to video you. You will find somebody that wants to help you in this area, that area. You will find those people. So I always tell people just starting off, don't even stress all of that. Just use what it is that you have and
Yeah.
maximize its potential.
That's what I'm saying, man, because it's true, you know. I mean, eventually, like, yeah, the shit will come, you know, like you just got to chill out and just keep putting in work and work. And then eventually you get better camera, get the better mic, you know what I'm saying? You
That's it.
get music videos, more songs, albums, just everything. And then people will have more shit to like see, like, oh, okay, this guy's dope, you know. He's obviously working, trying to get better quality, all that shit, you know. People recognize that, you know,
Yes.
but that's what it is, you know. It just takes time, man, you know, and
Hmm.
you just got to keep doing it. You got to be, you know, consistent with shit, or else, you
That's a
know,
fact.
because if you ain't, then you know, then people ain't gonna fuck with you. They're like, oh, he's just kind of half-assing this shit, so I ain't even really nothing, you know.
I used to do videos on Facebook. I wasn't even the Patreon video that you saw,
Yeah, yeah,
because really that whole video was on Patreon. Like I have more on my Patreon page. So those videos, those freestyle videos, I was doing that on Facebook for a long time with just my phone camera. For a real
damn,
long time back when Facebook was prevalent, like in the 2000s. And
yeah,
then I took a break off that. I started focusing on songs because at that time the sound clicks and sound clouds, those were on the rise. So making songs became the thing. So then you just had to have good records. So I was just making good records. But then I came back to the freestyle and I said I could do both. And pretty much like I said, I went from phone camera to high quality camera. And then even when I had the high quality camera, I was recording the freestyles in here in this room. And
yeah,
then I decided, okay, no, let me actually put some more money on it. Let me book studio time, take my camera with me, and then actually record in the studio. And that's what you see now, because I
yeah,
didn't have a home quality, I didn't have a home studio setup like that. So I
yeah,
was just like, no, I could actually book some time just to record the video and I'm straight.
yeah, because it looks really nice, you know, now, especially because it just looks, I don't know, more authentic, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're in the
Yeah.
studio, you're doing all this shit, you know, but it's even cool, you know, seeing it at home too, you know, because you're like, okay, this motherfucker's really trying to come up, but it looks more professional, you know, in the studio, right? And then
Yeah.
people are like, okay, it kind of catches the eye more, I would think, you know, just something
Yes.
like
All
that
of
when
that
they
stuff comes
scrolling.
with time.
Exactly, yeah.
Hmm.
You're right, man. You said you have a lot of songs out then too, like on Patreon, or is it just like freestyles and shit?
Well, I have the freestyles on the Patreon, but also when you sign up to the Patreon, you actually also get the albums that I come up with. Those are free.
Oh,
So I
okay.
just like my last project that came out, Grotto, it's on Bandcamp. That's free for the patrons. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Anybody that's on my Patreon page, they can just click on it, they can download it, the whole nine. But other than that, my albums are on Bandcamp and the singles tend to be on the streaming platforms.
yeah. That one behind you just came out, right? That's the new
Yeah,
one.
Grotto. Yep.
Yeah, I
Yep.
like that one. That's the one I was listening to the other day. But
Yeah,
you,
appreciate it.
oh
Appreciate it, brother.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh
That
yeah,
just
for
came
sure.
out.
What
Hmm.
was you know, I guess what was kind of like the whole main premises of it? You know, like the message or something you know you're trying to portray in that whole you know album and everything.
Right. Okay. So I'll tell you how it started. And pretty much it's crazy too, because up here right now was the thought process behind it.
Oh,
Like I
okay,
was
shit.
doing
So
a
you got it.
yeah, I was doing an Instagram live and I was explaining people my thought process and how I came up with the whole thing.
Oh,
But
okay.
originally, to be honest, I was in the studio and I had did like three songs, and they sounded similar. Um, I was just rapping. I was rapping. I did the Visine record and I did the I'll name this record later. And I asked the people on my gram, I said, how many of y'all want a project from me? And some people said no, only because I had just put out a record with Shay Noir. I just put that record out. So some people said no, just keep pushing that record, and then other people said yes, we want a project. So more people said yes than no.
Oh,
So then I
okay.
was like, okay, let me actually go ahead and hit the studio and do 3 more records.
Yeah.
So pretty much I came up with the whole thing. One thing always leads to another with me. Like, and even in the thought process here, it's a graph. It says Jimmy Neutron, and it says movies. Then it says Skyfall. Then it says Beach House. Then it says One Piece. Then it says water, island, sand. Then it says boats and ships. And then thinking about a destination would be a grotto, right?
What is a
So
grotto? I don't even know.
it's like a yeah. It's like pretty much like a landmass, usually like surrounded by water.
Oh,
It's
okay,
like a
okay, that
cavern
makes
kind of
sense
thing.
then. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, okay.
So as in thinking about all of these things, I was just able to narrow the name down to Grotto, right?
Yeah. Okay,
So I
that's
was just
cool.
thinking, yeah, I do a lot of brainstorming, so that's how I come up with all of my albums. Like I just
Oh,
brainstorm on a name, I write things down, I just look at things. I'm inspired by so many different things. So
yeah.
this one was inspired by like 007 and that beach house in 007 Skyfall. That one with
Oh,
Craig, yeah, Daniel Craig was after he got shot. I
yeah,
always wanted that beach house.
yeah.
So I was just inspired off of that, and it sounded real. Like just the beats I was getting were real jazzy. It sounded
Yeah, I
like a
like that.
cruise ride somewhere, right? And so I really just wanted to encapsulate that sound somehow, some way. So I reached out, like I knew I was getting a lot of jazzy beats, and I knew it needed something. So then I hit up my man, sax man Noel, and he actually came through and laid the sax on the records. So
Shit,
after he
for
did the
real.
sax for Visine and for Candace Patton, I knew. I'm like, oh yeah, this is it. This is a go for sure.
Damn, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought I really liked that jazzy stuff that you had in there, man. So that you had one of your buddies, right, to do the saxophone?
yeah. He came through, did the sax for
Damn.
sure.
Holy shit. That came out really nice. Cause
Really nice.
yeah,
A lot
cause
of people thought it was a sample. I'm like, no, he's a feature on the record. Like he came through and laid sax.
damn, that's cool,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, because that was the Candace one, right?
Candace Patton, and he laid sax on Visine as well.
Yeah, yeah. So you that even in that song too, like you had like a kind of like R&B in it a little bit too, right? So you do a little bit of singing, right?
Yeah, Lil Singing. Yep, that was me. Yep, that's
Yeah,
correct.
that's what I thought. I was like, damn, that's dope, because the whole song went together, with the rap and the singing, the
Mm.
jazz beat. I was like, hell yeah, this shit's dope.
I appreciate it, man. It's funny how I got into that too, because it's like I um I used to work a lot with singers,
Yeah,
but then during this time it became harder and harder to actually reach out to singers. So I was just like, damn, I don't have a singer. I could just do this shit myself.
yeah,
and
no
and that's
shit.
really the trend. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, throw a little tune on there, let me get in there, vocalize, harmonize, and we good.
Yeah,
And
and
I
it came
just
out
thought that I
nice.
could do it myself.
Yeah, so I mean, all it took was just like, fuck it, let me do this. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Yeah,
it.
and then you're just
That's
like,
it.
yeah, now I can do this in all my shit.
Yep. Yep. That's
Yeah,
it.
man, that's cool. That you can do both of them. 'Cause some people can't. You know what I'm saying? So that's like good that
hmm
you know how to do that. I
Yeah.
also liked another song you did. I think it was off that one too. I right? No, maybe it wasn't off there.
I was with Shay Noir.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
on there, but that was the song that I released before the project.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like that one. It's kind of like I remember hearing like in one of the verses, like people taking back the businesses and owning them again and stuff like that. Like what was
Yeah.
the whole kind of mindset about that song? Like explain a little bit of it.
Right. I mean, with that, it's crazy too. I heard the beat and something just it was just screaming like attack mode. Like I need to be on a super duper heavy offensive mode here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So my man Frontier made the beat, so he sent it over to me, and I was listening to it, and I just started writing. Couldn't even tell you what was the inspiration. I was just like, let me just go ahead and do this. But I did want to, a song about empowerment, black empowerment. That's my thing. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
I did want something of that ilk, but at the same time, I wanted this just a barrage of metaphors, lyrics, bars, all of that, right? So I just kept writing. I wrote like a 32. Couldn't stop writing for whatever reason. And I did want somebody on the song I wanted to hit up a couple of people to see if they'd be interested, but I did want like somebody pretty much with like a greater name than mine at the time. And that happened to be Shay Noir. I was listening to her music. Music was super duper fire. I'm like, yo, let me actually reach out to her people and see if she'd be able to do this collaboration with me. So I sent it over, and yeah, they agreed to it, got everything done. She sent me back the verse. I was like, yeah, this is a perfect match. Send me a
Yeah.
solid 16. Yeah.
Yeah. It came together really nice, man. I thought that shit was dope as fuck.
Yeah. I already knew like this person, she's me and her was on the same wavelength in terms
Yeah.
of me. So I got an ear for certain things. I know who's supposed to be where.
Yeah. I guess you kind of just develop that ear over time, right? Just like, for the
Hmm.
sound and what goes with what, right?
For sure, for sure, for sure. Absolutely. The more you do it and the more you just be in those circles, writing circles and just listening to different types of music and different styles of music, you'll pick up.
Yeah. I also I forgot to mention too. I did when you were talking about the brainstorm and shit. I really like that, idea of brainstorm because I mean it can be some random ass bullshit, but like that bullshit, might be something at a different time, you know what I'm saying? But like,
Yes.
but you also come up with good shit at the same time, but like I really like that because it might be a whack ass idea, you might think it at the time, but like hell, it might have a time later. You just keep it written down, just kind of go through it and be like, oh shit, man, now it has
That's a
its
fact.
time. Because I'll be doing that
Everything
shit
grows
too.
legs.
Yeah,
Everything grows legs. You know what I'm saying? So one idea can lead to another idea, which leads into five more ideas.
yeah, hell
And then
yeah,
you get, and then if you're so advanced with it, you can combine all three of those ideas and make one product. You feel me?
yeah, exactly,
And that's
man.
what I've done. Yes.
Yeah, and that's what I like, because you had the whole damn thing mapped out and shit, and
Mm-hmm.
it led
Yep.
it up to that one thing right there, man. That's just dope.
Mm-hmm. I brainstorm for hours, man. 2, 3 hours. Just sit there, think of concepts, see how I can narrow it down into one idea. And I do the same thing with songs too. Each individual songs are like that as well. You
That's
know?
good. Yeah, that's good. You got your own process, like that. What is, I guess, your whole process of coming up with a song?
Yeah, definitely just brainstorming. Uh that's a major part of it. I'll sit there and then I'll see what the beat is telling me too. The beats that matters. Like if the beat is giving me a certain feeling, then I could just put out multiple ideas of how I'm feeling, and then I can combine them and condense them all into one and
Yeah,
say, okay, this is how I'm feeling over this beat, and this is what it is that I want to talk about and how it pertains to my life and the lives of the other people around me. So that's really always the thought process. I go through that stage, brainstorming about 2, 3 hours, and then I might start writing something within the two or three. It might be a sentence or two sentences, and that might lead to an entire topic, which will become my verse.
yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, just writing
Hmm.
and writing and writing. Yeah, that's cool. Because
Yeah,
then there's like you said, like it's a message. It's like its own little story that you just wrote. And then you just make it into like a rap. That's
that's a
cool, man.
fact. Yep, it's just story. That's it.
Is that kind of like what you did with the, let's see, the Land of the Blind?
Yeah,
That one was like a big message right there, right? Making people become aware of shit. Like you
absolutely.
said, yeah. Is
Absolutely, with the Land of the Blind track. That's exactly what it was. It was one thought led to so many other different thoughts, and that became my verse. And I only had one verse on there. I didn't
yeah,
want to do another one, but I wanted for it to start and end in the same tone.
yeah. And then you even had like some of your singing at the end too, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
And then at the end, who was that talking like at the end? Like, was it sampled in or something? Like, what was it?
Right. We got that. That's Tupac.
That's
We
what I
took
thought.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a Tupac rip. Yeah. Hmm.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
because what was it? What? I guess how did that attach to the song? So people understand that.
Right. Yeah. No, because in that clip, Pac was pretty much talking about he was talking about the youth and educating the youth and the things that they don't have, as opposed to, well, at that time, the things that they didn't have while they were growing up, as opposed to what he didn't have when he was growing up. And that pretty much just relates into the overall message and the theme of the song, which is just like, this is life now, and it's about educating the youth, and the youth needs to know what's going on out here in the world, especially with you know how specifically black men are being treated, you know. So it all kind of just tied in together. I thought it was a really, really cool clip.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, I want people to hear that. That was from an interview that, you know, a lot of people heard, but a lot of people may have kind of missed the message and what he was trying to say there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right, because that's cool that you put that in there, because like you said, a lot of people, they might have been like, whatever, but now you re-brought that to life, in 2021 or 2020, whenever you came out with that, and like put that shit back out there, because it's still, relevant, obviously,
yeah, for sure. You know, and I think, you know, the things that, like I said, music is like, that's one of the things, that's one of the few things that's still going to be here long after we're all gone. You know what I'm saying? So that's like a legacy within itself. Somebody's gonna find it. Somebody's gonna hear it. Somebody's gonna listen to it. They're gonna have thoughts and ideas. It's gonna be a topic of discussion, and that's what it is that I want. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of songs are, like the big hits and stuff. They're like timeless records, or not. It's not even all the big hits, you know what I'm saying? But like, they all have a message, and they still continue to have that message. But that's kind of why they become like that big popular that hit, because it's like timeless. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
that message stays forever, and that's how a
definitely.
lot of Tupac shit was.
That's a fact. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
I like that. That cipher that you did too, that you put on Instagram. Maybe it was like a year
Oh yeah.
ago. What was everything that? How did that come apart?
Yo,
It
shout
was
out to that's World MC, man. Shout out to World MC. They you know, they reached out to me some time ago, a long time ago. I was always trying to get on their platform, so I was always tagging them and stuff. Like I was freestyling for a real long time. And every time I would throw up one of my freestyles, I just tag them in something, tag them in something. But I think my manager, shout out to my man Oliver. My man Oliver, he kind of knew the dude, and they were like talking behind the scenes and stuff. And you know, one day, you know, they was having this rooftop cipher thing, and they hit me up and was like, "Would you like to be a part of the rooftop cipher?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I want. Hell yeah, I want to do that. I've been ready,
yeah,
you know."
yeah,
So you know, they give us 2 weeks, you know, to prepare and whatnot. They sent over some beats, and I was like, "Yeah, I really like this one," and I just got in my mode, man. I showed up, showed out. You feel me? But this was the second time. The last one I put out was the second time around. So this is my second time doing the rooftop cipher, and it was an amazing experience for real. And
yeah,
shout out to all of the MCs that's a part of that because I knew all of them. You know, by the time I got there, I'm like, oh, I know all y'all.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
shout out to the
That,
ones that I just met for the first time. But yeah, like it was really cool. It's really cool. It's like a hip hop New York City reunion.
yeah, and I like that, because it was like again, it's like they're recording you rapping, what I'm saying, like freestyle and shit. So it
Mhm.
like I don't know, it just looks really dope, and then they have the cool background and just like everything, just kind of fits together. And I liked like in yours when you're freestyling in the second one, like you were talking about, struggling and coming up, or struggles you're going through and shit, while trying to, pursue rap.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and I'm sure you've been going through that. You said when did you like officially start? Like when was your click moment when you got into rap? I guess when was it?
That was okay. So when I first got into rap, like I said, when I started doing like 16, when I was 16, 17, around that time, but I didn't really take it serious until about 18. I didn't really
Yeah.
take it serious about to about 18. Like my first performance was when I was 18.
Yeah. So since then, man, I mean, you've been doing it for a long time, and so obviously you got a lot of struggles and shit you had to talk about, and you talked about it there, and I'm sure a lot of the other artists and just people in general trying to come up, know what the fuck you're talking about, and that,
Absolutely.
so that's why I was like, damn, that's just dope. You had that New York flow again, that Brooklyn flow. So I was like, fuck yeah, that's
Yeah,
just
man.
dope.
Yeah, man. You know, I lived the experience. I lived the real New York experience. You know what I'm saying? Just being out here trying to hustle and have multiple jobs and be working here, working at this shitty job, working at that shitty job, and really understanding that, you know, it's not really like your final destination, but at the same time, it's a necessary step. Like you have to
Yeah.
take that step in order to get to where it is that you want to be. So I live that for real, you know, and you know, I'm a strong advocate for any individual out here working 9 to 5s or whatever, what have you, and they're able to step outside of that and still find time to be out here doing something on a professional level. Like I have nothing but respect for that.
Yeah, dude, I really liked what you just said, man. Cause like I'll be telling myself the same shit, man. This ain't the final
Hmm.
destination, This is, just another step to get to where the fuck I'm trying to go. And
Absolutely.
so that's what keeps me fucking just like every day, like, okay, this ain't my final destination, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't got a trip. I ain't gotta freaking, get all freaked out or whatever the fuck, get overwhelmed because it's like, all right, it's cool, I'm doing it for now, but eventually I'm gonna be doing my own shit. I just gotta stay at it.
Absolutely, man. Consistency is key. And I always tell people, I tell people at my job, too, I'm like, you'll never give up, man. Like, no matter what anybody says, don't ever give up. Because I, even at the point in where I'm at now, I never thought I'd be. So don't
Yeah,
ever give up. It took me this long to make it here. I was 16, I started, I'm 31 now. Don't ever give up. I'm just
exactly.
now getting traction today. Don't ever give up. You feel me?
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
fact.
yeah. You're right, man. Because I mean, you're obviously, but you've been doing something in the right direction. Like right now, like your page is, bound to blow up and shit. People are gonna eventually see. Just have to get that fucking promotion, man. That's what everybody got. And you gotta figure out the marketing and shit. How to really get people to view their shit. That's what a lot of people struggle with. I am too. You know what I'm saying? But like, you just gotta
Mhm.
keep trying different shit.
That's a fact. I tell people, I'm like, yo, dude, I never imagined that I'd be here. Like I worked with Lord Jamar this year. That shit is crazy. You feel me?
Yeah,
Like I never thought that I never in a million years would be like, yeah, I'm working with Lord Jamar. I never thought about that. You feel me? And that's
yeah,
crazy. Like shout out to Lord Jamar, yo. Cool dude, cool ass dude.
yeah.
But it's just don't ever give up, man. Bet on yourself. Don't ever give up. Keep your head on straight. Know what your focus is, and you'll be good, man. Like it'll line up for you, and you'll be right in the place where you need to be for real.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying, man. Like you just kind of fall into shit, and you really enjoy it and you like it and you just, you kind of run with it, like how you did with rap. I did that with my clothing brand, in these interviews and shit I do with people. Like I
Yeah,
never thought I'd do one with like Spice One, and a lot of, other old school people, that,
word.
on the West Coast and shit. It
Invest in
just,
yourself.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
You feel me?
yeah, it's just like all it takes is that, that message, what I'm saying, to reach out to someone and see if they're down. If not, the worst they're gonna do is tell you to fuck off or leave you on scene. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you gotta take that risk,
That's it,
to
man.
even reach out to these people. Because I was like, man, these people ain't gonna say shit. But now, I've done like 57 interviews or some shit, with like all kinds of different people, man.
Dope.
It's just crazy, you just keep fucking with it, and same with you. You try to get features and shit for people, man. All you gotta do is just message them. Fuck it,
That's it.
you know what I'm saying?
hmm Absolutely. Put yourself out there. Absolutely.
Yeah. What motivates you to do what you do every day?
Just still my love of it. You know what I'm saying? I love putting words together. I feel like it's like rap is like a big gigantic crossword puzzle for me. And I love that. I love crossword puzzles. I love words. I love all of that stuff. I love music. I love rhythm. And other artists definitely motivate and inspire me. But then when I don't have that, I always have just my own thoughts and what it is that I ultimately want to say to the world. And my people keep me motivated. Like I got so many other different things going on in my life that it's all a source of inspiration at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
that's really what keeps me going, and just dedication to the people who've been following me all this time. And it's one thing too. Nipsey said something, and it always stuck with me. It's like you're you're too deep in for you to go back now. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
you're too deep in. And I always tell myself that. I'm like, I'm too far deep in for me to
Yeah.
go back now. You know what I'm saying? So I got to keep going. I got to keep pushing on. I'm paraphrasing, of course. Rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle.
I
But
think
yeah,
I
like,
have that video
yeah,
on my page, on my Instagram one. Yeah.
word, word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the same thing. That's dope. That's the
Yeah.
same thing. It's like I'm too far in now. I can't go back.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, because I think what he did say is like you're closer to where you're trying to go than where you were before, some shit like
Exactly.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
what I had. I was like, man, that's fucking dope. It's true, because that's key. You just gotta keep going, man. You
Just got to
know,
keep going. That's it.
what is I guess, one lesson that you've like learned through, business or rap, like with what you do in your
Mm.
line of work, that, you got, fucked over or screwed out of a deal or just anything, that you can prevent someone else from going through.
Know your worth.
Hell
That's
yeah.
the one thing I will say. Know your worth and know that in a very literal sense. You know what I'm saying? Know that in a very practical sense. You know, I do business with people who want to like do like features with me or records with me. I know what it is that I'm worth in that realm and in that space in a very practical sense, not in a way in which I think that I'm something that I'm not.
Yeah.
I always put things into perspective and I can price myself accordingly on that. I know I have reach and influence here, and I know that I don't have reach and influence here. And just being real with myself and being realistic about what it is that I'm trying to accomplish, that helps me tremendously,
Yeah.
tremendously. So I would say know your worth, know your real actual worth before you go out here into the world and just start doing whatever.
Yeah.
Know your real actual worth, and everything else will fall in line
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, you're right. I like that, man. That's good.
Mhm.
That's good advice. What is
Exactly.
some struggles you went through, that you went through, that got you to where you are now?
Oh man, that's a whole bunch of shit. Like I'd have been almost in every situation you can name that went crazy. I have. I've been in studios where like I might have went to like a bad boy studio or something and it's got all type of contracts thrown at me, shit like that. I had this one situation where I was going to a studio with a group of people and they were cool, and then like it just went left. Like we had a falling out, and it's just I didn't have a hard drive, so I couldn't get none of my records. Like it's just all types of stuff. So this was before I had external drives, before I had anything. Um, there's been times I signed up to perform out here in New York City, fuck around with some of these scammers. You end up paying a whole bunch of money to perform because they say the Jada Kid's gonna be on the bill, and then you get there and there's 40 other acts on there, and Jada Kiss might be going last, but he might not be there. Like who knows? So
What the fuck?
you know what I'm saying? And shout out to Jada Kiss. I'm just using him as an example
Yeah,
of a
yeah.
famous rapper.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
any name whatever famous rapper there, you could definitely get scammed out here in New York City mad quick. This is the land of the scammers. It's crazy. And yeah, that's one thing I had to learn. Like really know who you're about to spend your time with, and know the business aspect of it, and know who you're giving your business to. So it's important for you to always have conversations with people before you get into certain things. And I would definitely recommend that.
Yeah. I see what you
Mhm.
mean. That's cool though, man. I mean, because now you look where you're at now and you're aware of all this, this shit going on, but
For
before,
sure.
you might not have been.
Hmm.
That's cool,
Big
man.
facts.
Did you have anything else you want to leave the people with or anything before we wrap up?
Oh yeah, for sure. Hey, listen, if you out there, you want to be a music artist, entertainer, by all means, go ahead and pursue your dreams. Don't let nobody stop you. Uh, Push forward, full speed ahead, but you have to invest in yourself. You have to have consistency, and you have to have just extreme belief in yourself, and nobody will. And that's really what I want to leave y'all with for real today.
Hell yeah, man. I like that. That's dope. Did you have
For
any
sure.
like ads or anything you wanted to give the people too?
What was that?
Like ads like your Instagram and your Facebook
Oh
page
yeah,
and all
y'all
that
can
shit?
follow me on the gram, man. It's Prince Wiser Official. That's all one word. So that's Prince Wiser Official, all one word. You can follow me on the gram, and you can follow me on Twitter as well. That's the same Prince Wiser, and then YMP on Twitter. So just hit me up
All right, for sure, man. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate
for
you
sure.
taking out your time today, man. I appreciate that shit.
Absolutely, man. Anytime, man. You hit me up. Hit me up in the
Okay.
DM, man. We talk.
Yeah,
You feel
yeah,
me?
yeah, for sure,
But
man. We'll
yes,
do another one too, for sure, in the future.
absolutely, absolutely, brother.
All right, cool, man. You take it easy, man.
You as well, man.
All right, appreciate it, man.
No doubt.